Timeless 106.1 FM KFFB. This is Bob Connell. Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of our open mic program. Sajni Kumpuris is with us right now. She's the Director of Education of Arkansas PBS. And I thank you so much for taking time and talking with us. As Director of Education of Arkansas PBS, you must be so excited because so many changes has come for Arkansas for your program and your network.
Thank you, Bob. Yes, we are absolutely so excited about what's going on with us at Arkansas PBS and the way that we're able to help. And so to give you a little bit of context, it really kind of that change and shift in our role in education and bringing programming to the public that is education focused for K through 12 students really happened when schools closed last year in March. And we basically reached out and said, what can we do to help? And we ended up putting school on TV for 8 weeks as an alternative method of instruction. So that kind of just started us into this field of bringing real content that is educational focused on K through 12 to the public. And we could do it through broadcast, which is free and accessible to all Arkansans, and also be able to do digital and video on demand and things like that. And that brought us to this year. Because of the success of that, we were able to once again say, what can we do to help? And what we found out was a lot of students, because they were virtually learning for a year, they may have lost some of the learning targets that they should have learned because it just wasn't easy this last year. They were virtual, they were coming in and out of school. So what we did is we once again worked with the Department of Ed, and they provided a grant so we could target those learning standards and put some engaging content that actually taught them something that they could take away and be prepared for the fall back to school season.
Well, when you look at that, though, one challenge, Arkansas PBS didn't hit the entire state. And now you basically put more transmitters on. You guys realize that. And you're hitting nearly 100%. Let's talk about that just for a moment before we get into some of the questions about the other programs you have.
Absolutely. So when we did do Arkansas AMI last March, we did broadcast for 8 weeks. But what we discovered was people were calling us, legislators and people in the community, and saying, we don't get Arkansas PBS. We're in Arkansas. And what we discovered was they were either reaching a PBS from another state, or we didn't have towers to be able to broadcast in their areas. So what happened was we were able to get CARES funding and explain the reason why we needed it so we could cover 99% of our population. And they gave it to us. And so now we are currently putting towers up. We just got our towers up in Polk County, which is fantastic. And I happen to know they're watching Rise and Shine. But to be able to say we're reaching 99% of the population, especially with educational focused products. Education, a lot of it is about accessibility, for it to be equitable. And so you can't be equitable if some folks aren't able to watch it. So we're just really proud that we're able to get these towers up and people, any students, and families and communities can watch us. Truly an amazing ride.
Oh, it has. And it's so amazing when we see how Arkansans come together and make things better. And this is one of them. One thing I noticed, many parents are looking for fun, engaging ways to keep their children occupied this summer. And COVID, that's always in the back of the mind. What's going to happen next? But you can talk about a program that I think is really something that the parents need to take to heart, and that's the Rise and Shine program. Let's talk about this for a moment. This is a great opportunity for parents to engage their children.
Absolutely. So we once again partnered with the Department of Education and created a format of 6 weeks of programming, Monday through Friday from 8 o'clock to 11:30. And what it is that it is programming that includes math, science, social studies, and English. And they are grounded in the standards of learning, academic standards that the Department of Education gave us. So what does that mean? We put on Teachers of the Year on school. We produce these highly engaging math lessons, science lessons. We made supplemental power packets that they could get mailed to their house, helps them reinforce, a math problem or a literacy skill or something like that. And so we went in and made 101 hours of programming, and it's still going on. We're in the 5th week right now. And overall, what this is, it covers learning targets that children may have lost that skill during this really difficult year we just went through with COVID. We have licensed teachers on staff at Arkansas PBS. They did an amazing job to make sure that they did align with our standards for the state. Also, we just made it fun. We brought out every creative thought we ever could imagine. We went back to our own childhood and figured out what was interesting to us. And so this programming, it's really good. It's fun, it's funny, it's interesting, it engages your mind, it makes you critically think, and we're just really proud of it. And I think parents can feel really good about something like this for their kids to watch during the summer, because there's a lot of things maybe that aren't as good out there and high quality and thoughtful for children. So we just really like having these options for them.
And that's something they're talking about. Some parents are looking at possibly staying home because of the COVID. They don't know where it's going to be. I mean, that's something that's never been in the back of their mind, but it seems like we all look at things different. Maybe we look at option A and option B. We always got plan B in place. What are some of the tips for parents who are interested in integrating this learning program at home?
So we are working closely with the Department of Ed to see how we maintain what we have produced that is high quality, that is done by licensed teachers, and how we let this go beyond Rise and Shine, the summer program, because the content was very intentionally made to have a long shelf life, right? It teaches about fractions. Well, in 6 months, it will still teach about fractions. So we'll work with them and figure out what that repository of, videos and supplemental content that we can help parents. So more to come on that. But I know, right now, even if you wanted to go back to week 1 and watch those lessons, you can, because we have everything on demand. We have it on YouTube. You can order the power packets. You can download the power packets with activities. So everything really has been thought as far as long-term that it can be used because they're grounded in learning standards.
One thing I noticed when I was researching some of the information, that the programming was hosted by 6 ADE Arkansas Teachers of the Year program, and that's really kind of a neat way to reward those good teachers as well.
Absolutely. It's hard to describe how talented and how amazing these Arkansas Teachers of the Year. Once you meet them, there's no doubt you would agree why they must have received this award for the year that they did, because not only do they understand how to teach these learning targets, they also know how to connect with students. They know how they feel. They know how to, all the skill sets that a licensed teacher, and it is just absolutely the cream of the crop as far as understanding what it looks like as far as being virtual, on TV. I mean, without them, I'm not sure it could have been, what it has been, because they're so talented and they truly care about these students. So absolutely, they were part of AMI that we did, and we knew if we were going to do this, we had to bring them back. So all 6 of them came back that did Arkansas AMI.
And then the programming also features segments from statewide partners. Let's talk about that for a moment.
We've always wanted to share the beauty of Arkansas with students. And so this offered us the ability to partner with organizations throughout the state that were focused on students and families. And so what we did was we went to 32 different locations and did field trips. And we did them with the Amazium, the Crater of Diamond State Park. We did it with Toltec Mounds. I mean, there's so many. There's 32 of them. They were interesting. It took the kids on this trip that they may not be able to do right now because the numbers the COVID numbers are up. It may not be financially feasible. So we wanted them to go on these vacations, right, with their families at least with us through, through our programming. And so they're one of the best parts of this whole series. And those partners that partnered, they said, absolutely, we're going to do this. We are so thrilled to be able to show what we do to the, for these students and families. And it's just a great part of it. We went to CALS. I think we covered all regions of the state with various different organizations like the Native American Museum, the Military Museum, Air Museum. It was a lot of fun. And so I think the kids not only learned something, because there's a lot to learn from a lot of these museums, educational organizations, but they just had fun.
Well, where can viewers get more information about the Rise and Shine programming? And matter of fact, all the programming of Arkansas PBS.
We are on broadcast. So we have 4 channels on broadcast. So you can turn on your TV and you should be able to go on our website. And if you're wondering how you'll be able to get the signal, it will give you directions. Or you can also go to myarkansaspbs.org/rise and shine. Once you get there, it'll give you the program guide. It will show you how to watch things that have already aired. It will let you know what's happening next week. And so it will give you a lot of information. And even if you want to give us a call, you can, and we will get you any information you want on our programming. So we really hope you tune in and watch. I think you'll enjoy it. I think families will enjoy this. And it's been really great.
Well, we've been talking with Sajni Kumpuris. She's a director of education of Arkansas PBS. And Sajni, thank you so much for taking time and giving us a crystal ball to look into the Arkansas PBS and what's going on there. It's very exciting for Arkansas.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on.